Welcome to PSY 562, Psychology of Union Management Relations. Study Session 1, Managing Diversity in Contemporary Work Organizations. Introduction. The modern workforce consists of people with diverse demographics. Workplace diversity means different things to different people and has become a key personnel management concern for most managers. Different distinct approaches may be employed by an organization to effectively manage diversity issues. However, organizations do encounter certain barriers as they attempt to harness the benefits of a diverse workforce. Objectives. After studying this chapter, you should be able to 1. Explain the meaning of the concept work diversity. 2. To identify and describe different approaches used by organizations to effectively manage workplace diversity. 3. To enumerate and explain some of the barriers to managing workplace diversity. What is workplace diversity? Diversity is an inclusive term in organizations that refers to recognizing and valuing all kinds of difference between employees in an organization. Fundamentally, the term is about appreciating the differences and similarities that exist between employees and adapting work practices to create an environment in which these visible and non-visible differences and similarities are harnessed for organizational benefit. Perceptual differences influence social interactions and the ability of employees to function effectively. Prejudice and stereotypes are some of the causes of negative behaviors at work, such as discrimination. Several factors account for the increasing diversity of 21st century organizations and include social justice issues such as equal opportunity for all, organizational change such as mergers and acquisitions, economic or trade liberalization policy which increase the participation of foreign businesses in the local community, privatization of government-managed firms, migration, changing status of women in the society, increasing competitiveness among businesses, increasing customer sophistication, and so on. Need for diversity management in organizations. As noted by Candola and Fullerton 1998, the basic concept of managing diversity accepts that the workforce consists of a diverse population of people in terms of such factors as gender, age, race, work style, and so on. When these differences are harnessed, it leads to a productive environment because everyone feels valued and feels the need to contribute maximally towards attainment of organizational goals. Thus, managing diversity is about ensuring that all employees maximize both their potential and contribution to the organization. It connotes valuing differences, that is, appreciating that individuals are different, and that they bring different qualities to work, and that these differences can lead to the development of a more rewarding and productive environment. Characteristics of a diversity-oriented organization. Candola and Fullerton 1998 use the acronym MOSAIC to describe the characteristics of a firm that is pursuing diversity. M. Mission and values are strong and positive, and they have made diversity a long-term goal. O. Objective and fair processes exist within the firm. These are audited regularly to prevent any one group of employees exercising power at any level. S. Skilled and informed workforce who are aware of effects of biases and prejudices on their decision making, and managers will manage the diversity effectively while stressing excellence in individual and team performance. A. Active flexibility connotes that the diversity-focused organization will display increasing flexibility in working patterns, practices, policies, and procedures. I. Individual focus, that is, organizations must guard against averaging out group differences or similarities by creating segregated groups. Culture. Culture that empowers achievement through openness and engender trust between all individuals through an absence of prejudice and discrimination. Initiatives that indicate that an organization is pursuing diversity. 1. Removal of age-related criteria when selecting new hires. 2. Providing assistance with childcare for employees with children. 3. Purchase of specialized equipment for employees who need them. Braille keyboard, chairs and tables for the physically challenged to enhance their effectiveness. 4. Allowing time off for caring for dependents beyond the legal limit allowed. Extended maternal leave, extended time with a sick parent. 5. Allowing for paid career break, such as study leave. Adoption of equal rights and benefits for all categories of staff, especially those that work on part-time basis. Extending same benefits to partners of same-sex and heterogeneous sex partners. Layers of diversity. There are 4 layers of diversity that highlight the important ways in which people differ. Collectively, the 4 layers help in establishing an individual's personality identity and influence how they see the world. Layers of diversity. Organizational dimension, external dimension, internal dimension, personality. Personality occupies the central position of the diversity wheel. The reason for this is because personality represents a stable set of characteristics that is responsible for a person's identity. Next in the wheel is the internal dimension, consisting of factors which for the most part are largely outside our control. Factors here include our age, race, gender, physical ability, height, and sexual orientation. However, they are important in shaping our perception, attitude, and behavior. Examples are religious affiliation, marital status, work experience, geographical location. The most outer layer in the wheel is the organizational dimension, consisting of variables like management status, work location, union affiliation, and department, unit, or division. Barriers to managing diversity. Diversity is potentially volatile and for some people can be uncomfortable situations to handle. Listed below are some barriers that prevent implementation of successful diversity programs in organizations. 1. Inaccurate stereotypes and prejudice. This is a barrier when, during hiring, differences are viewed chiefly as promoting incompetence or inequality. 2. Ethnocentrism. This occurs when a person believes that their cultural norms and values are the most appropriate and superior to those of others from a different culture. 3. Unsupportive and hostile working environment for diverse employees. This plays out when diverse employees are excluded from social events. 4. Diverse employee lacking political savvy. Sometimes, Diverse employees may not get promoted for lack of understanding of organizational politics. Lack of organizational network promotion is a contributing factor. 5. Difficulty in balancing career and family issues. Domestic chores and childcare often prevent women from taking on additional tasks or working at non-normal periods. This has implications for career growth of women. 6. Fears of reverse discrimination. Some employees are of the view that managing diversity is a smokescreen for reverse discrimination. This belief leads to a very strong resistance on the part of people who subscribe to the view that Take two. This belief leads to a very strong resistance on the part of people who subscribe to the view that one man's loss is another man's gain. 7. Resistance to change. Diversity management requires change at both the organizational and personal level. 8. Poor career planning. This barrier is evident in the structuring of work, such that diverse employees do not get the type of assignments and tasks cognate for promotion to senior level positions. Organizational practices for effectively managing diversity. Option 1. Include or exclude. The primary goal here is to tinker with the number of employees at all levels of the organization, either by increasing or decreasing the number of diverse people in its workforce. Option 2. Deny. The use of this method requires the denial that differences exist. Claims that all decisions are color, gender, and age blind, and that success is hinged primarily on performance and merit are manifestations of denial. Option 3. Assimilate. The idea here is that as diverse people mingle with others, over time they will learn to fit in or become like the dominant group. This can be achieved through the various processes of socializing new employees and exposing them to the values and cultures of the organization. Option 4. Suppress. This option entails discouraging differences by telling others to quit whining and complaining about issues. Option 5. Isolate. This approach involves retaining the old ways of doing things while using a suitable method to sideline diverse employees. Diverse persons can be set aside by putting them on special projects which minimizes their influence on organizational change. Option 6. Tolerate. This approach acknowledges that differences exist but falls short of valuing or accepting them. Organizations that use this strategy merely pay lip service to issues relating to diversity and are not committed to effectively managing it. Option 7. Foster mutual adaptation. The goal here is to promote better working relationships with others. To achieve this objective, people adapt or change their views so that they become favorably disposed to other characteristics. Summary of study session. In this study session, we learned the meaning of the concept work diversity. We also identified and described different approaches used by organizations to effectively manage workplace diversity. Lastly, we enumerated and explained some of the barriers to managing workplace diversity. This is the end of study session 1. Thank you.